Greetings, Dr. Mark Winton here, and I wanted to welcome you to the course CCJ 6675, Human Rights and Criminal Justice for the Fall 2017. I'd like to just go over the syllabus briefly and just kind of introduce you to the course. Everything is going to be posted in our web course, and we'll be communicating that way. We'll be communicating with each other, reading each other's materials, and what I want to do is just briefly go over some of the web course environment and some of the goals and objectives and the materials. On the syllabus, you see all the contact information, also the course description and the course objectives. And then the two textbooks, the core textbooks that we have, Crime, Justice, and Human Rights, Walker, Fishwick, and Marmo, which is really kind of a nice book to have because it's really focused to criminal justice. Although we'll be using an interdisciplinary approach, no doubt about that. And this has a lot of useful material that is specific to criminal justice, with a good introduction to human rights, international human rights. But then we also focus on civil rights, collective rights, discrimination, criminal law, the criminal courts, policing, juvenile justice, and victims. So that's very helpful. And also we have, I consider this really classic, Human Rights and Wrongs, Slavery, Terror, and Genocide by Helen Fine. This book has some excellent comparative case studies, and I think that will help us considerably to kind of integrate the whole idea about how different types of human right treaties are related and human rights violations are related, and begin to put all the pieces together in a more coherent manner. As far as the assignments, there's 2 case studies, 3 debate halls, a comparative analysis paper, and a final exam, and all of that will be described in more detail in the web course, and I'll also be making some videos offering some tips and suggestions for those. You can see the grading policies, and then there's a lot of other material just related to basic UCF policies and procedures. And then on page 6, page 6 and 7, we actually have the syllabus. And HRHW, Human Rights and Human Wrongs, and then HR CRIM is the Crime, Justice, and Human Rights book. So I abbreviate that after the first week to save some space there in the syllabus. And you can also see the reading materials. There'll be additional online materials and links, articles, and the like, and I will post that each week in the announcement section. So you'll have that. Some of the material will be links posted in the announcement section. Others will be to ask you to review or read a particular document that will either be linked or will actually be posted on the home page under course notes. And you can also see on the right-hand side of the syllabus when the assignments are due. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves to each other, which is a real nice way to kind of get to know who's in the class and some of our interests and areas we like to focus upon. But also it's required now by the university to offer some procedure to grade or take attendance the first week. And that's kind of a nice way to do that, but also, to try to personalize the course a little bit more. And then you can see, for example, the first debate hall I already have posted, and that's due on September the 4th, and you can see everything else as well. I'll try to get out the materials about the assignments about, at least 2 weeks ahead of time, and the comparative analysis paper I'll get out sooner than that. And I'll be posting materials, as I mentioned, weekly. There'll be some YouTube video links. I'll make some YouTube video links. I'll just mention a few things about myself real briefly, because you may wonder, who is this character and what what's he doing? What are his interests? What about his background? Basically, and I'll give you the short version. I started my career in forensic mental health, and I worked in child protective services. Done a lot of research on sex crimes, child abuse and neglect, mental disorders, and published some materials and co-authored books in that area. But the last, I'd say probably the last maybe 15 years or so, my emphasis really has been on genocide and criminal justice theory, prevention, understanding genocide perpetrators, trauma, and so I have 3 courses at UCF I teach on genocide: a graduate course, an undergraduate course, and a scholars track undergraduate course. And so I've been doing that a while now. And one of the things for me about teaching a course on genocide, what becomes quite apparent are the, the huge amount of human rights that are violated, severely violated, and also the situation that almost every crime I've ever studied is incorporated into genocides, whether it is rape, child sexual abuse, physical abuse, assault, burglary, financial crimes, sex trafficking, slavery, homicide, serial murder. It's all in there. And so I kind of see the whole scenario of studying genocides as having a large amount of material on human rights violations as well, and also looking at the legal system and the international interactions and relationships, and of course with the main goal of preventing mass atrocities and genocides and ethnic cleansing and politicides and human rights violations from occurring in the first place. And also trying to figure out, where does criminal justice come into play in that regards, because we really, in my opinion, don't have a huge impact and in the research and education field of genocide studies, although there's a few researchers and authors out there who have done some tremendous work, but I'd like to see a lot more. And as I mentioned, we'll have weekly announcements, and I'll post materials there. Please feel free to email me any time of the day or night, of course, and I check my emails multiple times a day, and then during my office hours, let me know if we want to have a chat, converse. If we need, if a phone call is more suitable, I'm more than happy, to do that and to try to accommodate your hours as well. So if you're sleeping when I'm awake, and we can modify that so I have no problems talking to you in the evenings, early in the morning, also on the weekends, and I think the teaching web courses has kind of led me in that direction. This semester I'm teaching 4 courses. This course, serial murder undergrad, criminal profiling undergrad, and genocide undergrad, and they're all online. And I just finished 3 courses this summer. Hello to those few of those students and I thank you so much for taking another course with me, who just finished up the Nature of Crime, the CCJ 5015 course with me over the summer. It's nice to see you in the class again. Thank you. And all that was online too. I probably teach maybe 1, 2 at the most now a year face-to-face classes, so it's kind of a strange scenario. My main goal in this class is for you to learn as much as possible, and to just take it as far as you can with the theories, with the research, and again integrate this with your other courses and your work, and with the major goal of understanding and being able to prevent these atrocities from occurring in the first place. And welcome to the course. Thank you.